Hey everyone, welcome back to Walk and Study. Today we'll go over some words that are commonly used in academic texts. If you're having trouble increasing your TOEFL reading score, one reason could be that you need to improve your knowledge of key words and phrases. This video is great for anyone who wants to work on their basic knowledge of academic words and phrases commonly used in the reading section of the TOEFL exam and academic articles in general. Okay, let's get started. Our first word is associate. Associate is a verb and it means to connect someone or something with something else. Using associate in a sentence, we could say, the study showed that yawning during a conversation was not associated with being bored. So, the study showed that yawning during a conversation was not actually connected to being bored. We could also say, Jack associated pumpkin pie with Thanksgiving. So, in his mind, Jack connected pumpkin pie with the American holiday of Thanksgiving. Our next phrase is provided that. Provided that is a conjunction and it means if or only if. Using provided that in a sentence, we could say, you can use another resource provided that you include the correct citation. So, you can use another resource only if you include the correct citation. We could also say, Winona's uncle promised to buy her a car for her 16th birthday, provided that she got all A's in school. So, Winona's uncle promised to buy her a car if or only if she got all A's in school. Some similar phrases to provided that are as long as or given that. Okay, our next word is stimulate. Stimulate is a verb and it means to encourage something to grow, develop, or become active. Using stimulate in a sentence, we could say, the professor's question stimulated ideas in her students' minds. So, the professor's question encouraged an idea to develop in her students' minds. We could also say, riding her bike stimulated muscle growth in Zeynep's legs. So, riding her bike caused the muscles in Zeynep's legs to grow or develop. Our next word is partially. Partially is an adverb and it means partly or to some extent. Using partially in a sentence, we could say, World War II was partially caused by the rise of fascism. So World War II was partly or to some extent caused by the rise of fascism, which is a kind of authoritarian political movement. We could also say, Mo had only partially finished the test when time ran out. So, Mo had only partly finished the test when time ran out. Okay, our next phrase is make up. Make up is a phrasal verb and it has many definitions, but in an academic context, the most common definition is to form something by combining to produce a whole. Using make up in a sentence, we could say, people between the ages of 24 and 54 make up approximately 66% of the labor force. So what this sentence is saying is that if we were to count people between the ages of 24 and 54, all of them would be equal to 66% of the whole labor force. Another example could be, small mammals make up over a third of all mammal species in Nepal. So, when the number of small mammals are combined, they are over a third of all the mammal species in Nepal. Okay, Our next word is emergence. Emergence is a noun, and it means the process of coming into existence or view. Using emergence in a sentence, we could say, the emergence of the internet changed the way people communicate with one another. So, the process of the internet coming into existence changed the way people communicate with one another. We could also say, the Ottoman Empire's emergence as a global power was partially caused by its military success. So, the process of the Ottoman Empire coming into existence as a global power was partly caused by the Ottomans' success at war. Our next phrase is lead to. Lead to is a phrasal verb, and it means to result in something. Using lead to in a sentence, we could say, poor posture can lead to backaches. So, poor posture can result in having pains in your back. Another sentence could be, Beatrice's research led to the discovery of a new ancient city. So Beatrice's research resulted in the discovery of a new ancient city. Our next phrase is in turn. In turn means as a result of something in a series of events. Using in turn in a sentence, we could say, the change in temperatures in turn caused a change in the sleeping habits of bears. So, the sleeping habits of bears changed as a result of the change in temperatures. The phrase in turn in this sentence shows the order of the events. In this case, change in temperatures was followed by change in bears. Our next word is contain. Contain is a verb, and it means to have or include something. Using contain in a sentence, we could say, the manual contained important information on operating an airplane. So, the manual, which is a book of instructions, included important information on operating an airplane. We could also say, my grandma's cookies contain nuts. So, my grandma's cookies include or have nuts in them. Our next word is correlate. Correlate is a verb, and it means to have a close connection with something. Using correlate in a sentence, we could say, some studies argue that eating processed food is correlated with a higher risk for heart disease. So some studies argue that eating processed food has a close connection with a higher risk for heart disease. The noun form of correlate is correlation. Using correlation in a sentence, we could say, there is a correlation between cheese consumption and the number of cars sold in the U.S. So, there is a connection or relationship between the amount of cheese people eat and the number of cars sold in the United States. I don't actually think this is true, but it would be very interesting if it was. Okay, our next word is flourish. Flourish is a verb, and it means to grow well or to be very successful. Using flourish in a sentence, we could say, the desert climate does not provide appropriate conditions for aquatic plants to flourish. So, the desert climate does not provide appropriate conditions for aquatic plants or plants that grow in water to grow well. Another example could be, the study suggested that young learners flourish in interest-driven learning environments. So, the study suggested that young learners grow successfully in interest-driven learning environments. Flourish is an advanced word, so it's a good idea to use it in your essays if you can. Alright, with that we've gone over some words and phrases that are commonly used in academic texts and are found in the reading section of the TOEFL exam. I hope this lesson was helpful to you all. As always, subscribe below, give us a like if you found this video useful, and let us know in the comments section what else you'd like to learn about or see in our next walk and study lesson. Thanks everyone. Take care.